What is happening, sports fans, and welcome to the playoffs. Is that still a cultural, am I outdated? Yeah. Okay, I'm outdated, fair enough. Yeah, you saying yes means I am outdated. You saying that that's culturally appropriate. Welcome to the playoffs. We got a lot of work coming ahead of us. Yeah. David Ring at Canyonside Cages, Tommy Morris at Real Tommy Morris, and I am Christian Pedersen, your host du jour for all of this. So the opening rounds of the baseball playoffs are here. We're going to be bringing it all to you from Canyonside Cages, where you need to come and get your swing right, because Dave here will teach you how to hit like Big Papi in the playoffs.
Is that two-circle portrait?
Yeah, he'll teach you with one hand to just kind of flail at it innocently. All right, so right now you've tuned into the Division 5 segment of this video. You can bounce forward or backwards to all the other divisions. Play-in is going to be happening today, Monday the 13th, and then the rest of it happens Tuesday, then Wednesday. It's getting going, guys. It is underway. It is full steam ahead for these playoff rounds. So just to be fair, for everybody, this is your first year tuning in on the playoffs. We comment on every single game.
All of them.
That does not always mean that we know everything about all games.
Most we don't.
And some of this we also just like to go with our guts. So we apologize in advance if anybody gets their feathers ruffled. We're gonna piss some people off, and we apologize, but we're gonna try our best. So without further ado, here we go. D5. The four teams that have advanced through getting byes and having wonderful seasons: Calvary Christian, Morris, High Tech, Chula Vista, and Orange Glen. Let's skip on commenting on the play-in game, because by the time we post this podcast, it'll already be done. But that is Chula Vista Community Learning Center and Ocean View Christian Academy battling it out. So we'll go to the top of the bracket. I say top only in the sense of this. Again, I'm trying to be as politically correct as all of this. So number 8, Army-Navy Academy. Number 9, Rock Academy. Tommy, you will be picking first in all of these games in this bracket.
I'll go with Army-Navy there at home, and that's going to be the difference, I think.
I will take Rock Academy.
Army-Navy.
Next game down, number 5, Mountain Empire, led by Trevor Elliott, versus the winner of the play-in game. So are we taking the winner of the play-in game or Mountain Empire? Tommy.
Here's the tricky question here. If you're Mountain Empire, do you pitch Trevor Elliott in this game? I wouldn't. I'd wait for him to come in the next round, but I still think they'll win without him. So I think they should hold him off till the next round, because they got a tougher opponent in Morse.
So a long-winded taking of Mountain Empire.
Yes, and a suggestion.
I will agree with you, Mountain Empire.
Mountain Empire all the way.
Who do you pitch?
We don't have time for pitching debates.
Fine.
He's the hitting guy. What are you going to ask the hitting guy about pitching?
He's also
he's going to put a pitching machine on the mound and be like, yeah, hit dingers. Down to the bottom half of the bracket, number 11, Lincoln, traveling to take on number 6, Mount Miguel. Tommy.
Mount Miguel.
I will go with Lincoln for the upset.
I like Lincoln. They got a lot of good players.
Next, number 10, Liberty Charter, going to take on number 7, Pacific Ridge. Lions or Firebirds, Tommy?
Firebirds.
Woo! Although I've never understood why blue is in the mascot of the Firebirds.
Part of the fire is blue.
Oh, science! Look out, Bill Nye, we're coming for you. I will take number 7, Pacific Ridge as well.
I'll take Pacific Ridge.
All right, so those teams will all be moving on to take on, like I said, Calvary Christian, Morris, High Tech, Chula Vista, and Orange Glen. First round will be played Tuesday. Second round will be played Wednesday. We will regroup on Thursday, maybe.
Yeah. Yes.
If we got any of these right, we'll regroup. If not, we'll just we'll pass on that bracket and go on to the next one.
Massive advantage for those teams to get that first round bye. Not only do they save their starting pitcher, they don't have to play back-to-back days. So huge advantage for those guys.
That's the insight you only get here. Nowhere else in all of sports media will you get the insight about the advantage that a first round bye has.
No,
what do you say we
more so than any other sport.
Get rid of Division 5? That didn't go nearly as well as I was hoping, and we move on to Division.
It almost went as poorly as possible.
Yeah. You know, everything has been planned. Division 4, guys.
Yes.
Deal.
All right, so here's what we got. We got a couple things going on. We got play-in games happening today, Monday the 13th. Calipatria and Mission Bay are playing for the 11 seed. Kearney and Escondido Charter are playing for the 12 seed. Those games will, again, happen today, May 13th. Those will be moving on. The winner of those will move on to play in the first round of games, which will happen tomorrow, May 14th. Here's who we've got. Number 8, Calexico hosts number 9, Mar Vista. Tommy, you went first last time, so Dave, you have the pleasure of going first here. Calexico, Mar Vista, who do you got?
Gosh, I like Calexico.
I like me some Mar Vista. Mar Vista is my, I'm not going to say stone cold lock to go all the way because they have to get through number 1 Southwest San Diego, but Mar Vista is a very clutch team.
I'm going to go with Calexico. That's a far bus ride.
Number 5, Maranatha Christian will play the winner of Kearney and Escondido Charter. So, Dave, you can pick just to hedge your bets and say the winner of the play-in game or Maranatha Christian.
Gosh, that playing game, that's a tough one. I'll take Maranatha.
We once had a hashtag on this show, hashtag NathaNasty. I have seen Maranatha Christian in some CIF finals. I think that this is a program that is long-term projecting upward, so they get through the first round. I go Maranatha Christian. Tommy, Maranatha or the winner of the playing game?
Maranatha, too. I mean, it's massive advantage. Again, you play in a play game, it's a all-or-nothing game. You have to use all your pitchers if you need to. Maranatha just gets to sit at home and wait, so I'm going to go with them.
Our next, or the bottom half of the bracket, the 11th seed will be the winner of Calipatria and Mission Bay for their play-in game. They will have to take on league champions Sweetwater. So, Red Devils or the winner of the play-in game? Dave?
I like Calipatria.
Hornets going to sting. I will say that I see Sweetwater eking this one out.
Oh, we're going to all pick different teams then. I'm going to take Mission Bay. That is a far trip to Calipat. I've had to do it before. It's very, very far. I think Mission Bay, a neutral site, it's an easy win for Mission Bay. Going out there's going to be tough, but if they can make it through there, they will win the next round too.
First time in show history that we've all organically arrived at different conclusions. Wow. Our next one, number 10, West Hills has to travel out to the desert to play number 7, Central Union, the Spartans. Almost looked at we didn't plan to go to you. First of all, I'll go over to you, Dave. West Hills or Central?
Home team, Central.
I will also go with Central Union. I like what they've got this season.
Now we just did the opposite. I'm going to take them too.
That's fine. Hey, that's fine. Have a little bit of variety. So there's the play-in games. There's the first round of games. Congratulations to our 4 teams that got buys. That's number 1, Southwest San Diego, who, like we said, will play the winner of Calexico Mar Vista. Number 4, Palo Verde, who will play the winner of Maranatha and the play-in game. Number 3, Mount Carmel, who will play the winner of Sweetwater and the play-in game. And number 2, Tri-City Christian. Again, Southwest San Diego, Palo Verde, Mount Carmel, Tri-City Christian, all receiving buys and moving on to the next round. Speaking of moving on, I say we move on to Division 3. I will go first this time, and then we'll go Tommy, then Dave for the selections. No play-in games on this one. The brackets are set in stone. The 4 teams who have buys are Mira Mesa, Valhalla, San Pasqual, and Patrick Henry. And you look at that and you go, holy hell. 3 of those 4 teams that have buys all receive top 10 votes this season. This is a very, very loaded bracket, and we haven't even talked about the other 8 teams in it. So, Mira Mesa, they have the bye. They will play the winner of University City and San Diego Academy with Zay Pena back, Colin Ruthenberg healthy, everything going right on the offensive side for University City. I see the Centurions taking the dub.
Yeah, I was going to say they probably win league if Zay Pena doesn't get hurt, so they get stuck with this 8 seed. Also, the couple games he didn't get to play, so that's what probably put them at the 8 seed, not one of the top 4. For this bracket, they're a very, very good team with everyone healthy, as you mentioned, so I'm going to take them and potentially an upset in the next round.
So you vote University City, and you allude at bigger things to come.
Do you even need to ask me?
Yeah, we technically do. Look, full disclosure, he is one of the, if not the greatest University City alums in school history. But hey, I'll say though, Dave, the reason I do ask, because if you go span through the history of our show and all the different sports we have covered, while I have had my homerism moments for La Jolla, I also have text messages to prove that I've jumped off that bandwagon while playing against Tommy's alma mater. And Tommy,
mid-game you jumped off.
Yeah, that ship was taking on water at that finals.
Squad is good this year.
The squad is good for UC. All right, next, number 4, Valhalla. They have the bye. Congratulations to the Norsemen. They will take on the winner of number 5, Steel Canyon, and number 12, Olympian. I think that Olympian gets it done with the big fly. They have been part of our Dave's Dingers segment multiple times this season. I say live by the home run, die by the home run, and they get it done. Dave, who do you see winning between Tommy, who do you see winning between Steel Canyon and Olympian?
I see Steel Canyon this one. They've proven this year they can play with pretty much anyone. I got Steel Canyon.
Because you like Billy Tellis. Who do you got, Steel Canyon
This
or
is
Olympian?
my toughest pick so far. I'm going to take Olympian.
All right.
The pitching is going to trump the hitting in that first game there. They've got some stud pitchers.
You feeling okay?
I know. Today is different.
Wow.
First game of this.
Hey, we woke up on some alternate universe where he likes hitting, he likes. On to the other side of the bracket, number 3, San Pasquale has the bye. They will take on the winner of number 11, Sarah, and number 6, Hilltop. I think Hilltop has this one. We've seen what the peak is for Hilltop this year, and that is beating Poway.
Yeah.
That's beating an open division team. The question will be with Hilltop, how deep does their pitching go? But in a one-game sample size, I think Hilltop has enough to get this one done. Tommy?
Yeah, that's why I think we need to bring back the double elimination for baseball, but that's neither here nor there. I think Hilltop as well, like you mentioned, they can play with anybody. Poway is pretty much as good as anybody else in the county.
Yeah, don't forget Sarah's league is really tough. They have the number 1 seed Mira Mesa that they get to see all the time. I mean, it's a tough one. I'm going to take Sarah in this first game.
Fair enough. Our last game, Patrick Henry has the bye as the 2 seed. They will play the winner of Rancho Buena Vista traveling to take on Mater Dei Catholic. I like Mater Dei Catholic in this one. Tommy?
Can I go RBV twice?
I mean, you keep jumping ahead. Like, you're trying to hedge your bets on this next
Well,
round.
because we can't, we don't have time to talk about the next round.
Fair enough.
Want to just double them up. RBV twice.
All right.
Okay. I'll take Mater Dei.
Not twice. You're going to take Mater Dei to win all of this and a state championship? Fair enough. Let's move on to Division 2. I stacked these papers in the exact wrong order. I'm a horrible television host. All right. Again, no play-ins for this one. The bracket is set in stone. The 4 teams with byes are Classical Academy, Santa Fe Christian, Sage Creek, and Point Loma, all of whom ended up in the top 10 for multiple weeks at some point this season.
This is one of the strongest Division 2s I've seen.
This might be the most loaded Division II bracket in CIF history, given with a large asterisk that we have only been covering this for a couple of years. So, we're not John Maffey. Yeah, we're not John Maffey. We don't know how this.
Well, and they switched to the tier, the relegation system, whatever you want to call it, pretty recently. So in that context,
let's just say this is going to be a fun one. This is going to be a King's Landing Game of Thrones bloodbath that not even Aaron Rodgers will survive. Number 1 Classical Academy, the Caymans. They have the bye. They will take on the winner of number 8 Claremont and number 9 Bishops. Dave, we will go with you first on this one.
Claremont's got a bunch of studs. I think their pitching is going to shut down Bishops.
I will also go Claremont, but no one gets past Classical Academy to pull a move out of Tommy's playbook.
I will say that this is going to be a coastal matchup in the second round because I think Bishops is going to win, but then I think, like you said, Classical, the league champs, will defend their honor.
Again, all of these games will be played Tuesday, May 14th, and the following games against the teams with byes will be played Wednesday, May 15th. Our next one, Santa Fe Christian, they have the bye. They will play the winner of number 12 Ramona going to, as the league champions, going to host number 5 Santana. Ramona, as a 12 seed, does, like Tommy mentioned, have the home because they are league champs. So, Dave, Santana or Ramona? Who do you have?
They got a tough matchup in this first go. Santana's got Ben Hart. I'm going to take Santana in this first game.
I will go with Ramona. Tommy?
Me too, and I think Ramona could make some noise in this bracket. They have the best shot of any double-digit seed to advance to the finals.
All right, fair enough. The other half of the bracket, number 3, Sage Creek, they have the bye. They will be taking on the winner of number 6, Bonita Vista, playing host to number 11, Coronado. Dave, who do you have?
BV.
Yeah, in great turnaround season for Coach Palais in his first year at the helm of Bonita Vista. Seeing them get a home game in the playoffs is awesome, but also they did this without necessarily the formula that they thought they were going to do it with. Omar Vega not pitching as many innings as he was throwing, Demario Cazares and Nate Nankill not being quite as potent of all. Like, it was a team effort that they just kept moving forward. They are a threat all playoffs long.
I got them too. They got a bunch of really good players, some future college players, on the team. The record probably could have been a little bit better even, so I think that's why they're with the 6th seed right here. It could have been higher. They're just as good as anybody in this bracket.
Our next game, number 2, Point Loma, they have the bye, and they will take on the winner of Otay Ranch and Southwest El Centro. Dave, Otay Ranch, Southwest El Centro, who do you have?
I'm impressed with Otay Ranch. I'll take OR.
I will also go with Otay Ranch.
Be careful of those desert teams, man. Be careful. I got Southwest.
Ooh, Tommy with a little bit of an upset. We have to be careful in this next bracket because Division I is just as confusing as the rest of them. Grossmont, the 2-time defending D1 champs, has that 1 seed again. Hooray for consistency with the Foothillers. They have a bye. St. Augustine has a bye. Canyon Crest Academy has a bye. Madison has a bye. So to get there, these games, again, will be played Tuesday, May 14th, with the following games Wednesday, May 15th. Number 8, La Jolla Country Day plays host to number 9, Mission Hills. Tommy, you have the floor.
Country Day twice.
Country Day colors.
Wow.
I will go with Country Day for the first win.
I think it's going to be a Mission Hills Grossmont matchup in that next game.
Next, we have St. Augustine with the bye. They will play host to number 5, Granite Hills, or number 12, Vista. Who gets out of that first game?
I wanted to pick Vista as an upset team, but Granite Hill's going to be too tough, so I'm going to go with Granite.
I will also go with Granite Hills. Dave?
I like Granite a lot. They haven't made as much noise as I expected this year, but with Sean McGrew, Ryan Fenn, they're slugging it.
Other side of the bracket, number 3, Canyon Crest Academy has the bye. They will play the winner of number 11, Westview, traveling to take on number 6, San Marcos. Tommy, who do you have?
San Marcos, another team in this bracket. Yes, they have a 6 seed, but throw the numbers out because this is a team that could have a chance to win it all anyway.
I'm very interested in seeing San Marcos move through to that round because San Marcos and Canyon Crest played a bunch of really close games during the regular season, splitting that series up. So I will say that San Marcos ekes this one out. Dave?
Westview has hobbled into the playoffs with the lack of pitching.
They got the hitting.
They've got the hitting. They've got the defense. Unfortunately, I'm going to take San Marcos. I think they just don't have enough in the tank.
Last game of this bracket, number 2, Madison has the bye. They will play the winner of number 10, Francis Parker, and number 7, Carlsbad. Tommy, Battle of the Lancers.
Yeah, I think the Purple Lancers are going to win this one.
The Purple Lancers. I will also go with Carlsbad in case anyone is colorblind. I don't want to discriminate against your enjoyment of this product. I don't know if that's a colorblind. I think you can still tell brown and purple apart. Trent Lopez and company, very, very good, but very, very bogged down with an insane league schedule. So, kind of similar to some of the other teams where we've talked about in other brackets of that's not necessarily reflective of how good they are. It's just reflective of how hard they played all season. So I will go with Carlsbad winning this one. Dave?
Yeah, they've got some hitters. If Ryan Sanborn's on the mound for Parker, they've got a chance.
Oh, do they ever?
With Michael Campagna behind the plate, I mean, those guys know what to do. They're both going off to college next year. I mean, if those guys are in sync, they can shut down any team. I'm going to take Parker.
I think Ryan could probably pitch and play left field at the same time. Knowing that kid.
And kick a field goal and play lacrosse.
All
in the same day.
Oh, absolutely. He's Deion Sanders and Bo Jackson rolled into one. They have also, rumor has it, offered him the principal job at Francis Parker when he graduates from Stanford.
Surprised he doesn't have it right now.
He's already been running it from within. Finally, we get to the Open Division, and this will be the first year where this isn't necessarily the climax. Like, this is the one time where we don't need a drum roll because every other bracket we've talked about has been like, oh my goodness gracious, this is packed. Oh my goodness, this is packed. And there's some familiar faces, and I think there's an interesting thing to see, does Poway and Torrey Pines have a rematch in their potential feud? Like, where does this all end up? So it's still fun, but I mean, it's great not trying to be like, all right, let's get the other brackets done so we can get to Open. So we do enjoy this one, but it is fun to have the parity travel all the way through. These games will be played on the first round of May 15th. That is this coming Wednesday. No first round of games because, again, this is only 8 teams. So other brackets are 12 or 16. This one is 8. Number 1, Eastlake, plays host to number 8, Cathedral Catholic. Dave, you got the floor.
Gosh, very tough start for Cathedral, even though they got Jake Rons on the mound. I think Eastlake's the clear number 1 in this bracket. Whoever gets to face them, they've got the Ricky Tidbit, Keone, Cavaco might get drafted in the first round. I'll take Eastlake in this first game.
Tommy.
I just want to give a shout out really quickly to Cathedral for even making it into the Open, because in the beginning of the year we're like, is this team going to win half their games? Or you know what I mean? Like, unbelievable job to get themselves into the Open, into this spot. Unfortunately, they run against Eastlake. Anyone else in the bracket, I think they have a shot. Again, like you mentioned with Ron's on the mound, but it's Eastlake. So.
Well, this is you had lamented earlier that baseball needs a double elimination. This is the one bracket of all these playoffs where you have just a little bit of room for error because there is the consolation or the loser. I feel bad. The losers bracket is
the one loss bracket.
The one loss bracket. Thank you, Tommy. Is the option in this one. So Cathedral does potentially have a way to work
back in there.
Their magic through this.
So much better right now, and that's a huge credit to them. They started off the season 0-5. I mean,
No,
talking to their players, it's been a humongous turnaround, and congrats to those guys.
I will go with Eastlake, though, on this first one. Next one, winner of Eastlake Cathedral plays the winner of Rancho Bernardo and Torrey Pines. This one will be played at Torrey Pines. Dave, who do you have?
Oh, gosh, Torrey's just underperformed for me this year. I like RB. They're scrappy. Their defense is good. They really know how to put the ball in play. They've got a couple hitters. I like RB in this first game.
We'll leave it to the 4-5 matchup to be the most evenly paired.
It's a tough one.
I think saying that they underperformed is a little bit of a misnomer because I think so many people were projecting out that Joey McGreasy type pitching would still exist. And you can't always do that in high school. When an ace leaves, there's not always a superstar arm to fulfill it. And you get, though, back into a smaller game setting, and you get into an area where I think what we saw throughout the playoffs last year was, yes, that the pitching was huge, but that they have really big bats at every part of the lineup. So I think that Torrey Pines gets business done here.
I'll go with RB, which sets up a very interesting consolation prize, one-loss bracket game, whatever you want to call it, between TP and Cathedral.
Very nice. On the other side of the bracket, Poway, the Cinderella, the sweethearts that came out of the 8 seed last year to make it to the finals. They have a 3 seed this year, so the projections have gone up for them. They will play number 6, Scripps Ranch, who very well could be last year's Poway. Dave.
Very, very incredible season for Scripps Ranch being in the spot that they are. I think they couldn't ask for a better game. They match up really well against teams that hit. They pitch and play defense really well. Lots of one-run, close games that they've won this year. So in this game, I'm going to take Scripps in like a 3-2 game.
I will also go with Scripps Ranch for the upset, unless Ivan Romero, and I'm hedging my bets here, unless Ivan Romero is pitching, in which case nobody gets past that. But this, again, all comes down to the who do you throw, when, where, and how, and the strategy of all of it. Tommy.
I'm going to take Poway. I mean, they did it last year. They know what it takes. You're not going to surprise them. You know what I mean? They were the surprise team last year, so they know exactly what it's like to be on the other end of it. I don't think they're allowed to happen to themselves. So.
You know, another team that we got to talk about surprising is Helix. From a little bit of a slow start like we talked with Cathedral, they really, they caught nuclear strength Chernobyl level fire down the stretch. They get the 2 seed going into the playoffs. They play host to number 7, La Costa Canyon. So Scotties or Mavericks? Who do you got, Dave?
La Costa's limping into the playoffs also. I think this is one of the best matchups for any team. I can't take LCC in this one. I got to take Helix. They're playing really well right now.
Yeah, it's not a struggle to take the 2 over the 7. I will go with Helix.
I'll take LCC. I mean, they lose arguably the best player in the county early in the season. They've kind of come together to get past that. So, playoff time, this is when the team matters and, that cohesiveness of the unit, so I'm going to go with LCC.
Tommy, I do have to correct you on one thing there. Ryan Sanborn never played for LCC, so they never lost Ryan Sanborn. No argue about that. He just actually is the best. We love you, Ryan. Really looking forward to you walking on to Stanford's baseball and lacrosse teams. First round will be in the books on Wednesday. We will be back with all the recap of all of this.
Serious question, how many majors do you think he's going to do, like 10?
No, he'll be a doctor. He'll be an emeritus doctor by the time. He'll be teaching at Stanford by the time he's graduated there. Look, this is all going to look like the way that the brackets look right now in the studio is how they're going to look in 2 days. Just chaos strewn everywhere, ripped up, papers flying. But that's why we hope that you guys will stay tuned with us for all the anarchy, for all the chaos. Where can people find you to criticize you and or support you on your picks?
At Canyonside Cages on Instagram, at David Ring4 on Twitter.
At Real Tommy Morris, both Instagram and Twitter. Also wearing one of those hats because these are very cool hats. Bye.
At Mr. CPED or just at SD Prep Insider because I'm always checking the DMs. Thank you very much, folks. And we will be back later this week for the next round of the playoffs.